Calendars are full, meetings stack one after another, back to back team discussions, one on ones with team leaders, constant idea exchanges, even lunch becomes an afterthought. It feels productive, but is it? Or is it churn? Henry David Thoreau once said, "It's not enough to be busy, so are the ants. The question is, what are we busy about?" Many leaders confuse constant talking with teams as real progress, but having discussions is not real progress, nor clear thinking. The reality of it all is that leadership runs on two types of work: thinking and talking. Of these two types of work, one involves building direction, and the other involves driving direction. While these two get out of balance, or when these two get out of balance, decisions weaken and teams tend to lose focus. That's a fact. The right leader doesn't just do both, they know when to pause and think and when to speak, such as analytical thinking changes everything. So, where should you spend your time, and why does it matter more than you think? Let's explore it a little more, thinking versus talking. More than constant activity, leadership demands more. The real impact comes from how time and attention are allocated across the different types of work. Maintaining clarity of approach effectively separates leaders from reactive ones. Let's take a closer look at how those two types of modes work. Let's start with thinking. Thinking work demands depth and focus. Strategy takes shape here. Complex problems find direction. Decisions gain clarity. Quiet time, uninterrupted attention, and disciplined reflection drive meaningful outcomes. Much of this effort remains invisible, yet impact runs deep. Then there's talking. Talking work brings ideas to life. Meetings create alignment. Presentations shape understanding. Conversations build trust and momentum. Clear communication converts direction into coordinated action. Strong leadership requires both, but excessive talking without the benefits of thinking creates noise and weakens decisions. Excessive thinking without communication slows execution and limits influence. Balance defines effectiveness. Modern workplaces often connect visibility with value. Quick replies, constant meetings, and immediate availability are seen as signs of strong performance. Over time, communication becomes the default mode of work, while actual thinking gets squeezed out. This creates a hidden problem in leadership. Decisions start to rely on urgency instead of clarity. Leadership becomes reactive instead of strategic. Space for original thinking slowly disappears. Conversations multiply, but direction weakens. For leaders like us, this challenge is even sharper. Communication is important, but overuse without balance reduces its impact. Strong leadership depends on protecting thinking time with the same discipline applied to meetings and discussions. Undoubtedly, to say that every right leader has a strong clarity of thought. When thinking is structured and intentional, every part of execution becomes stronger and more aligned. Clear thinking improves leadership in three key areas: better positioning in markets and decisions, stronger, more focused narratives across teams and stakeholders, smarter allocation of time, budget, and effort. Thinking about the work is where real differentiation begins. While many leaders remain in constant execution and communication, fewer take the time to form original insights and a deeper understanding. That depth creates a strategic advantage that cannot be replicated through speed alone. A core leadership truth remains simple: communication loses impact without clarity of thought. When ideas are not fully formed, messages become diluted and decisions lose direction. Ideas do not create impact on their own. Without communication, even strong thinking remains incomplete. Talking work plays a critical role in translating thought into execution, ensuring clarity moves across teams and decisions turn into a coordinated action. Leadership, therefore, is not about creating clarity, but also about effectively transferring it. Talking creates impact in three key ways. It aligns teams around a shared direction, reduces uncertainty in decisions and priorities, and builds momentum for execution. However, leadership effectiveness depends on timing. Different stages of work demand different modes of engagement. Early stage of a problem, more thinking, deeper clarity, stronger direction. Later stages, more talking, alignment, and execution focus. When this balance breaks, leadership is lacking in unpredictable ways. So, too much talking yields noise, confusion, and scattered focus. Too much thinking is isolation, slow execution, and lack of momentum. Strong leaders manage this balance with intent. A few practical habits make the difference. Protect thinking time with the same discipline you use for meetings. Enter discussion with prepared viewpoints instead of open-ended reactions. Use writing as a bridge between thinking and communication. Leadership strengths lie not in choosing between thinking and talking, but knowing exactly when to switch between the two. Leadership is not built solely through conversations. Strong leadership always comes from a disciplined form of thinking, sharpened in silence and intentional communication that helps the team to move in the same direction. When leaders protect time to think and bring structure to how they communicate, clarity replaces confusion and decisions gain speed with confidence. Teams then step up into real-world ownership with less dependency and more accountability. Here are a few pointers to keep in mind when you're trying to create this balance. Number 1, schedule no meeting thinking blocks. Block out time. This creates uninterrupted space for strategic clarity and better decision making. Leaders who protect thinking time reduce reactive choices and improve the quality of long-term planning. Right before you speak, use memos, notes. This converts scattered thoughts into structured ideas, leads to sharper communication, fewer misunderstandings, and more effective team alignments in meetings. Ask, am I adding clarity or am I adding noise? This improves awareness during conversations and helps filter unnecessary input and ensures every discussion contributes to the direction and outcomes that you're trying to achieve. Encourage teams to separate ideation from discovery from delivery. This improves the quality of ideas by allowing independent thinking to take the lead in your team first. It leads to more productive team meetings and reduces group confusion or dominance bias. Build a culture where silence is valued. Make sure everyone knows silence is golden. It strengthens reflection and improves decision quality. Encourages teams to think deeply before responding, resulting in more intentional communication and stronger leadership alignment. Leadership is not defined by how often conversations happen, but by the quality of thinking behind those conversations and the clarity of communication that follows. True leadership lies in understanding thinking versus talking as two connected yet distinct modes of work. When leaders balance the importance of thinking with effective communication, decisions become sharper and actions more intentional. Over-reliance on the benefits of talking creates noise, while disciplined thinking builds clarity that scales through communication. Ultimately, leadership effectiveness depends on balance, knowing when to step back and think, and knowing when to step forward and say something. Because if you don't, nobody else will. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at agiledad.com. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care. Bye now.